Hey guys, you're listening to the Shift Training Podcast. Today we have a special episode. Today is a feature episode on the Carry Your Way to Success podcast. It's an absolutely amazing podcast. We hope that after hearing this episode that you agree and that you'll run over, go check it out and support it. So let us know what you think and let's get started.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to Carry Your Way to Success with me, Crystal Castillo-Guster. I've been a business owner for over a decade now, and I've really seen the importance of making sure you carry your way as you climb the success ladder. So today I have the privilege of introducing my good friend. I call him Flip because he's also an amazing artist. But today I'm going to tap into kind of his mind and what he does in regards to making sure you are okay as a person. So Flip, thank you so much for being here. And can you just give us a little insight of what you do?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Crystal. I'm so glad to be here with you right now. So a little bit about what we do. The name of the business is called Shift Training. And what we do is we help people make small shifts in their life to live a life they love. And that's basically it. We train people to be able to make these shifts on their own. So we don't want to coach you for all eternity. We're not really trying to be your therapist. We want to give you the tools so you know how to make these pivots on your own.
Gosh, guys, Flip is really so amazing. If you ever meet him in person, his just energy and your vibe is always so calm and just calm, cool, collected. So I kind of want to go into what kind of got you into this field that you're in now? What kind of motivated, inspired you, or something in your past that was kind of give us any of those stories or your background just a little bit that, again, got you into what you're doing now?
Awesome. So the way that I even got to where I am now, it was an idea. And at the time I was doing a lot of studying around emotional intelligence. And originally the thought was, upon discovering emotional intelligence, I was like, okay, wait, this is what I actually teach people in martial arts or in the other crafts that I teach. Mm-hmm. And I've been teaching probably since 2006. So I've been a teacher or instructor for a long time. And these are kind of the similar principles. But I didn't really understand at that time until I started learning more about emotional intelligence itself. And then I was like, wait, this is so fundamental to people's well-being. Mm-hmm. I think I will move towards this. Try to start a business doing this because I was already doing it. I just wasn't really getting paid for it.
Right.
For myself personally, I think what drives that, with a lot of very successful people or any entrepreneur, anybody who wants to create a bigger impact in the world, it's usually they're trying to create something in the world they don't see or haven't seen in their own life or wish there was more of, right? Usually related to their past trauma, stuff like that, or the way they were brought up, or strong reverence for life. I've taken some of my trauma and converted more of that into having a strong reverence for life, just such a strong appreciation for life. It doesn't make sense for me to not fully enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, what you just said though, about taking what you went through and not seeing enough of it now, or wishing at your younger self, there was more of what you are now doing. That's amazing. And that's why, again, caring, in a sense, you were caring for yourself, but now you're using that to now care for others.
Yeah, absolutely. 100. And I would definitely say that comes from, again, not seeing enough of it in the world as I grew up. Mm-hmm. And then whenever it did show up in my life, how much of a positive it was, how big of a difference it was to have certain experiences. Mm-hmm. And thinking, how can I create more of that? How can we cultivate more of that in the world so more people can have those types of positive experiences, especially as they grow through life, really. Mm-hmm. We're all growing. We're at different stages in life. So, absolutely. And we're going to continue to grow through life until we're done with life, right? So how can we create more of these positive experiences for everybody?
That is so awesome. Give us a little, because again, I know what you do, but I'm trying to give my listeners and people who follow this, either talk about any of your workshops that you do, or just give my listeners a little sneak peek into
what we do.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Predominantly the work that we do with clients is mostly focused on emotional intelligence, emotional awareness, emotional agility, emotional granularity, all things that have to do with better understanding your feelings and emotions so you can align your thoughts and your behaviors with that, and basically get in alignment with all the things. So we want your feelings, your thoughts, behaviors to line up, and that's going to help you develop the types of habits that you need. We help you assess like your values and belief systems where there might be limiting or conflicting beliefs or values that stop you from moving forward to the thing that you constantly feel drawn towards. We all have invisible scripts running, and we want to help you identify them, and let's work through it.
Oh my gosh, emotional intelligence. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. Like, was that something that you created, or you saw something, you saw it in in your studies?
Yeah, learned a lot about that. Emotional intelligence was kind of where we started. And I feel like emotional intelligence is like it's like a fundamental principle or like a core element of emotional development. So in order to grow emotionally, you kind of need to have a certain level of awareness of yourself and others. It needs to be able to give some consideration to what another person may be feeling or how they're expressing what they're feeling, which I would say is emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. Flip, I'm so glad that you're here because you're going to just be giving some gems to my people today. A little backstory about me and Flip is we were connected through our good friend, Ashley, which was it through the arts?
It was, I think it was around like 2010. And I think she invited me to come to like a party or something with you and Spidey, something that either you guys were having but I knew you guys were there. And that's where I first met you guys. And then for the longest time, we hadn't really communicated. There was no real connection at that time.
Right.
And then we reconnected again via Ashley, but for different circumstances. And then we were like, oh, and here we are.
And here we are. We're like, oh, and from that, then we really, really connected, I think, this year in regards to, I know you were watching some of my motivational videos, and we're kind of like on the same wavelength of trying to grow right now and be better for not just ourselves, but the people around us, because we do, that's where we connect to, is we're trying to give back.
Service.
Yeah. Trying to be service to others and just help them. Hopefully we're just like the catapult to making their goals happen and everything, their dreams come true. I'm a very big dream big.
Yes.
But so that's where me and you connected. But also to being an entertainer, an artist,
right?
Being with dance and all that, and what you do in your artistry within athletics is also really cool. And would you say, because you also are physically active, does that help you with mindset?
Absolutely. Okay. Physical health definitely plays a role in cognitive function and mental health, 100%. Okay. There's too many studies and there's too much evidence that make it plain as day. If you take better care of your body, it's going to positively impact your mental and emotional health, period.
And that's one thing too, like, as we get older, right, our bodies start to change, and it's like, being physical is like, dang, like I got to make sure this happens. So that's one thing, guys, too. If you're, going through anything mentally or emotionally, spiritually, go take a walk outside. Yes. I know you probably, it's cliche. I know people have probably heard that, but it's legit. I do feel better when I am physical, even being around, like, cause I teach dance with the kids, and it's just so fun to just turn on music and dance. I'm like, that's physical too, guys. Like if you want to just dance around, put on your favorite songs and be inspired by that. But I have seen in this, I guess what I'm around a lot in regards to like the work industry, right? It's so much focus on the hustle, right, to get it done. So always on the back burner, the physical, like I'm like, and I'm always one to remind people like, hey, take care of your bodies, you guys. Pay attention to what you're putting in your body,
right?
Because all of what your mindset, like that's why I think it's so cool with you. Tell them like the two names you're known as, because you have two like kind of identities.
Sure. So, depending on when you met me in my life, you'll either know me as Flip or you'll know me as Law being LAW. And If you met me as Law, it means you probably met me either in a martial arts school or you met me at JAM, which is short for Joining All Movement, is the gym I coach at. And so you either know me in the realm of like, oh, he's a martial artist or he's a ninja or whatever. You know me in that capacity, you probably call me Law. Or you know me as an instructor, you know me as Law. But if you met me in a different capacity as a friend, you probably met me as Flip, which I'm glad Crystal introduced me to you guys in that fashion. I actually wanted to touch on the note that you said about the grind, like the grind culture and making time to take care of yourself. I have a firm belief that, yeah, definitely have your grind mode, whatever, but where are you applying it? Where are you applying that intensity? Being super intense in one area doesn't mean that you can neglect another area. In fact, I would challenge how strong your ego is in this grind mode. I would challenge you to say, are you really grinding? Because if you're grinding only in one area and other areas are falling to the side, I would say maybe you need to dial that back and put more of that energy to level up all the areas a little bit more equally. So you could apply your grind to your physical fitness as well. So a lot of extremely successful people, like I love Ed Milet, I love Tom Billy. There's a lot of really great people out there, and they all grind in the gym. They grind outside the gym. They go hard. They go hard on their sleep. You're not going to stop them from going to sleep when it's their sleep time.
Right. So we can sleep, guys. It's okay.
You can be determined and go hard in anything that you do, but you definitely should do it in terms of your wellness. Think about not taking care of your body. Let's say your body's your physical vessel for your ability to execute whatever it is you're trying to grind.
Right.
So you want to wear down the vessel that lets you grind, or do you want to take care of it so you can grind harder, longer, better, faster? Come on now. Just think about it.
Gosh, Flip, you're so Hubs. I'm very, very happy you're here. And I'm very glad our schedules worked out, because I know we're trying to figure out with everything the schedule. But that's such a good insight and for people to know. Because again, the culture, I think it's a culture. I wouldn't even say it's a society. It's the culture, especially us being in LA, right?
Right.
Like that hustle, man, and that grind. But I'm glad there's people out there like you who are kind of like, hey, let's reevaluate or let's challenge the way we're thinking to be better, to do better. Because I think with you helped me a lot with that too when we've had our Zoom conversations during, the pandemic.
Yes.
And just helping me, because I was entering, the financial industry, and you were there kind of just to give me different insights on how to think of it. So I didn't like overwhelm myself, you know, or I think a lot of people shame themselves.
Oh, yeah.
When they don't think that they're not doing enough. Right? Because it's always, now we have social media. It's like, oh, look at what they're doing again. And we know it. We know it's the highlights of their life, but still in our mental capacity, we're still being hard on ourselves. Like, well, what's my excuse,
Right.
But it really, in all reality, like a lot of us are just tired, and it's okay to rest.
Yes.
Like,
absolutely get the rest. And shame is one of those things that I would say it takes a lot of courage to even admit that you have shame around certain areas or subjects in your life. But it's absolutely required in order for you to do something about it. So if you turn away from the boogeyman, per se, the thing you're afraid of, it doesn't go away. He's going to grow. If you take the time to acknowledge it, gain some awareness around it, then you can actually do something about said boogeyman. So shame will just grow. And Brene Brown makes it very clear. She's one of the emotional senseis, if you will.
I love it.
Emotional research senseis. But it's very clear that when you bring shame into the light, it loses its power over you.
Oh.
Usually when we hide or avoid it, it becomes stronger, meaning you'll continue to take whatever kind of action necessary in order to try to avoid said shame. But at the same time, you're giving it energy. So you're feeding it.
Wow. God, just the different insight that you have is just so, I love our conversations always, because it's like you're feeding that to me. And I know everyone that comes across your path too. And one thing that I'm very thankful for you is you came to my students and you kind of gave them some ways to deal with, again, because this next generation, I feel like they're growing up in a world that we never grew up in, with the social media and this whole world. It's hard for me sometimes to connect. I can only empathize with them, just be there for them as someone like that. They know that I'm always here. I'm proud for them and proud of them. But with you gave them some key components on how to get through I want maybe like the anxieties of being a performer or just being this next generation living. How did you prepare for that? And also, what are some points that you would also share, like what you experienced with this next generation?
Okay, it's a great question. The way that we prepare for that was just you and I, we chatted a little bit, and I was trying to understand what you were noticing, some of the challenges you were having, and what were some of the goals, like how did we want to help them? And generally, whenever we develop any program or curriculum or any workshop or anything, we're always thinking, who are we trying to help? What is it they want or need? And how do we deliver it in a way that they'll actually take something with them?
Right.
Even if it's just one thing, then it's good, because usually it only takes one small thing to make a big change. It doesn't take a whole lot. Because when we think about it, we think about change meaning that everything changes in that moment, like an instant thing.
Right.
But change happens over time. If you alter the course, like if you're on a straight road and you took your car and you changed the steering wheel like 10 degrees to the left and just left it there, you'd be a very, very different place if you never moved it. It doesn't all have to happen at one time. In fact, if you turn the whole wheel the whole time, you probably spin the car and you probably wouldn't have gone very far. You might even be facing the wrong direction. So we always think about the long-term impact or effect whenever we're putting something together, and especially for kids, because even more so when you talk to youth, like what you say, and I know this because I've worked with kids for a long time, and as have you, what you say to kids, it matters and it changes. It influences them in a way that lasts for an extremely long time. We have to be very mindful about those types of things.
I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of that, what you were saying. It affects kids long term. And again, us taking the responsibility, caring, right? We care for them. Because I will say there's one story from Spidey remembers 2 things from his childhood.
Oh, here we go.
2 things from his, and that I was like, exactly what you said is so true. He remembers one teacher telling him he would never amount to anything.
Oof.
And he remembers, actually there's I'm going to do a third one. So that one teacher who said he wouldn't amount to anything. Then there was a story of they did Valentine's cards. And I don't know why this teacher didn't think of it, but they had to do, I didn't do this, but back in the day doing the envelopes for Valentine's. But the teacher never thought of telling everyone that everyone's included. He got no Valentine cards.
No.
Again, that's our responsibility. That's why I feel like that's our responsibility to really think and, care, because knowing that they're in our care to make sure that we are equally, we treat them different. I get that, like, because every child needs a different type of care.
Right.
But I'm going to be equal to me in my love for them.
Right.
And I remember then when he was in his younger days, this was a good story though. Around 18, he fell asleep at his job. It was just, it was like I don't want to say what job it was, but it was appropriate, but it wasn't something he really cared about. So he fell asleep. He heard his boss yell at him, said his name, went to the office. But this dude, he took a different perspective. He was like, what do you want to do? Like, what are you passionate about? And Spidey said, dance. And so that his boss was like, go and do that. But see, like, he remembers those vividly.
Yeah.
So just going back of what you were saying is, with our kids, the little bit that we put in, that teacher probably just like, oh, whatever, like Valentine's, they'll get over it. It's like, no, he's remembered this for his whole 36 years of his life, but it's also prevented him from treating our students like that because he went through those. It's unfortunate at that time, but he's kind of did what you did, right? Something that you guys went through. Now let me give the kids something that I did not have.
That's right. Yeah. I love that. I think those are brilliant stories. It's one of those things where, you have to be mindful because people remember that. Everybody has a story. I would encourage anybody that's listening to this, just think for a moment about a teacher or somebody you respected or someone you looked up to, anybody that they had a say in your life and maybe it didn't work out the best. Or there was another time where it did. And just think about how those 2 different scenarios made such an impact in your life or how you even view yourself, how it may have altered your behavior for who knows how long.
Gosh, I love it. I'm going to keep saying it. Thank you so much for being here.
No.
I'm so thankful. And I want to tap into your your Instagram. Can you give them
Okay.
your handle right now while I get that?
Absolutely. So the handle is Shift Own Your Life. And we use that handle on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. And then we are also known via Shift Training on YouTube.
I love it. Just a few of the because I always love the quotes that you like post, even just to get like our attention. The last one you put like one quick tip to motivate yourself to finish a big task.
Ooh.
I love that. And
Now, that one I have to give props to Coach Vaughn Akuva, who also works with Shift Training. And that was one of his choice. He's very awesome. Vaughn has a little bit of like the Jay Shetty energy plus like fitness, because that's his background.
Yeah.
So he has like this natural, warm energy to him. It's just like I don't know, like a warm, comfortable sun. I don't know. Just
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
It's great energy. Like just being around Vaughn is a pleasure. He always wants to serve people and bring that warmth to them.
I'm just so excited for both of you guys because it's like, this is just the beginning.
Yes.
All my friends who I see you guys like, putting in the work, but putting in the heart, kind of going back to, the grind. Like I see people grinding. I see people, yes, financially rewarded. Woo, awesome. But sometimes I see the lack of the heart. That's why I wanted to kind of start this podcast to be like, no, you could be successful and still care. Absolutely. And be a positivity in this world. And you can be good. Like you can be good. The good people win too.
Yes.
Good people can win too. Do we have to take a longer road? Sometimes I feel like I did what you said with the car, just taking just slight adjustments to get to your final destination. I don't think I'm ever going to be at my final destination because I'm always just wanting, not challenging myself, but always new dreams come to par in your mind, right? When you get there, like, this is amazing. Yeah. Oh, there's more kids that need to learn. At least for me, I'm like, okay, let's go to China. Okay, let's go to Australia.
Do it. I think regarding the grind and talking about you can see like there's a absence of caring or heart. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that we work with some of our clients the most. Like the difference between us and like therapists is like more often than not, at least what I've heard from the therapists that I study or friends of mine, is that a lot of their work is taking people from like urgent or critical situations to like a stable point or a baseline. And we take our clients from like baseline to thriving. So let's say maybe you are grinding and, you feel like you're mostly okay, but there's that void, where the care or the love or whatever it is not there. There's that disconnection. That's where you might want to come talk to us, because one of a good friend of mine, he's a great example of being financially successful, but being irritated or just totally overweight. But he grinds, he goes hard, he's great at what he does. But that's something that we worked on. And now he's crushing it even more than he was before, feels more connected, having more joy. He's moving towards the next phase of his life. But the grind plus bitterness plus continue to eat the trash while you go for the goal is not there anymore. You don't have to live like that. It doesn't have to be that way.
You hear that, guys? You don't have to live like that. There's other ways, and there's other ways that I feel like you don't have to sacrifice like your soul. Like so many, like I see it, I'm like, it's so disheartening to me. And, I feel for those people who might think this is the only way because they're in the environment where that's the only way.
Right.
So when you're in an environment where it's like, be on the top and woo, 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 but never really being like, oh, but are you okay?
Right. Is that actually where you even want to be? And is that place actually going to give you what you're really looking for?
Right. Those are questions. And again, guys, if you're going through that, those are amazing questions to just ask yourself, And I want to go a little bit more on some of your captions just because I'm like, guys, look at like just their mindset and like what they're throwing out there into the public, into the world, into the algorithm, right?
Yes.
2 quick tips for understanding and navigating guilt. So good. What is the difference between embarrassment and humiliation?
Ooh.
Shame is a focus on self. Guilt is a focus on behavior. By Brene. Is that Brene Brown?
Brene Brown. Yes, Brene Brown. Again, one of the gangsters of emotional senseis. She's very awesome.
I'm going to read that one more time. Shame is a focus on self. Guilt is a focus on behavior.
Yes. I would be glad to elaborate on that if I could.
Yeah.
So since we talked about shame a little bit earlier, the focus on self part is, here's a shame statement. I did something wrong. I'm a bad person or stupid me or something like that. It's where you take it and you place it on yourself as if it is a part of your identity, a part of your core being, whatever thing that went wrong. Guilt is about behavior. So you can feel guilty about something and use that guilt to maybe, let's say, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. I made a mistake. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to change my behavior because I don't really want to experience that feeling anymore. But it's not the same as shame. Shame is taken upon your identity, but guilt is just acknowledging the behavior. And when you separate the two, then you have the ability to make the change. But if every mistake brings you shame, you won't take any risks. You won't learn. You won't grow. So it's very important to address that, to know the difference between guilt and shame. And when you feel shame, you got to admit it and talk about it and help you work through it. And that's how you can continue to level up in your life.
You better tell us right now. I love it. So, oh, wow. All right, y'all. You should check out his Instagram. I'm just saying. What I definitely wanted to tap on too with you, being a king, being a man.
Okay.
You know, I think you kind of already know where we're going to go with this.
I don't know, but let's go.
All right. So being a king, being a man, and we've most recently just seen the shift of, right, it's okay if a guy's not okay. Because what has been stereotyped around men is just being strong. You don't cry. You don't.
Toxic masculinity.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about that with your journey personally.
Ooh.
And give any and any other kings who are listening to this, like if they're going through that, like, what would you tell them?
Ooh, okay. So this one is a good one. And I think that my approach or my story is a little bit different. I think growing up in, young Black American culture type deal and having like a young mom and stuff like that, like growing up with a lot of R&B music and listening to a lot of those things influenced me. Now where I am in my life, I can tell a lot of that music comes from a lot of their pain and trauma. Now at the time resonated with me because I was living in a lot of pain and trauma consistently, not really aware of it. But also there's the sweeter things like, we could say very romanticized things.
Yeah.
So like me writing poetry or loving the idea of like just making a woman's day, all that stuff. Like there's a little bit of my kind heart wanting to see people smile, but there's also a little bit of like, that's almost part of what it means to be a male. So I think that I never really had any issue with like sharing how I felt with women as I grew up. And I think that was to my benefit, but I can say the part where toxic masculinity was still a factor was being able to express or discuss feelings or emotions with my brothers, with fellow kings. So, and I think that when I was in my early 20s, one of my pastors in Florida, Pastor Jomo Cousins, he's one of the people I think, really shared some good words with me and was able to fellowship and learn a lot from him. And I think that's what changed that for me. To not be vulnerable, gentlemen, is costing you. And it's costing you more than you think. And I think if you really want to be the best man that you could possibly be, you're going to have to be courageous and you're going to have to be vulnerable. And you're going to have to work on the areas where you have shame. And this is the only way. I can say for myself as a man, we tend to have, most people in general, we have an ideal self, right?
Right.
But I think for men, what the ideal self is a little bit different, and maybe like that we're strong enough to really take care of our community. Like in some way, shape or form, we could take care of our community. Very important. Got to do that. And gentlemen, if you can't take care of yourself, you can't touch that form. So if you want to reach that next level, you're going to have to open up a little bit. You're going to have to find a safe space and a safe way to express that, work on that. Even if it's just journaling with yourself first. Start there.
Yeah.
Say what's on your mind and what's on your heart by yourself first. And when you feel like there's someone around where you can talk about that safely, go for it. If you want to follow us on Shift, you want to hit me up, go for it. I'm here. Hit me up.
That's so awesome. Like even we were just out 2 nights ago, me and Spidey, and this dude walks across me and immediately like looks at me because you kind of know I'm always smiling. I'm always just like, hey, I just have a playful like spirit. You know me. Like I'm just like, hey, what's up, guys? But he stops and he looks at me and he's like, wow, you have a pretty smile. And I'm like, okay, because we're at a club. So I'm like, all right, okay. Like, I'm still gonna be kind to someone. I'm not gonna ever be like, get out of my face. So then he's like, and I kind of see where it's going. I'm like, oh, I'm married, I'm married. Right. And then I see Spidey. Spidey's in my eyesight. So I like, he's looking at me. I'm looking at him. Spidey turns. And then I'm like, oh, I tell the guy, I'm like, that's my husband. That's my husband over there. The guy goes to Spidey. Mm-hmm. And I see them having a moment. Mm-hmm. And he kind of is like emotional towards Spidey. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think he didn't have really anyone to talk to. Because what he told Spidey was, so Spidey, you know how Spidey is. He's like, oh, hey, man. He understands. Right. And Spidey never gets jealous or anything. He's more just making sure I'm okay.
Yep.
And he trusts me too. So when the guy approached him, I could see, you know, when emotions change. Like first Spidey's like, hey, my dude. And I guess he asked Spidey, oh, is that your wife? And Spidey was like, yeah. And he just started like crying a little bit, just being like, can I just talk with you? Like, can I connect with you? Just, I'm going through some stuff with my girl. And just that moment, that's why I was saying I wanted to like your insight and maybe talk to some kings who are listening to this, because it's happening. Like we just saw that on Friday. And luckily, that's why we say to me and my husband, like we always try to have a good energy or good light. Because when people do come, maybe he will call my husband, maybe he won't.
Right.
But at least in that moment, that person knew he mattered, because Spidey did take time to be like, hey, what's going on? It's all good. And, Spidey, actually, this happens multiple times to us when we are out, but we're always open. Like, hey, we can talk right now.
Right.
Or hey, connect with us later. But my heart just breaks because I know a lot of dudes are going through that. That was just like, and that was recent. That's why listening to you, I'm like, man, I hope this reaches some fellas out there who you might just need a little shine on that crown, of words of advice from you, who are also doing amazing things, not only for everyone, but giving those gems to these guys to just be like, hey, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to, work through that.
I'd like to offer a word of encouragement. Like you said, just in that moment, feeling like they matter. Kings, you matter. You are worthy of love and you deserve it.
Absolutely.
Continue to do the best that you can. Start giving it to yourself. Be there for yourself. I know a lot of us have abandonment wounds. Got a lot of that. Mm-hmm. Start showing up for yourself. I would say that's the first step. But you're worthy of that. You're worthy of that love. Remember, you are a king.
So amazing. Well, with that, if you listen to some of my episodes, I always end with a letter from someone that you've impacted because of your care.
Oh.
They've written a letter to me that I'm going to read to you. Cool. To just show. Again, my biggest thing is to show people you can carry your way to success. You really can. And then the impact that it has on that, I feel like is the best reward.
I feel like it's the only way.
Okay.
Honestly, from all the people that I observed that seem to be maximum successful, however you define success, but really my definition of success is like holistic well-being. Like you're doing well everywhere. Prosperity, wholeness. Mm-hmm. The people I see doing that, they cared their way to success. Some of them even were doing it without the care before, didn't compare to how they do it now. So I think it's the only way.
Oh my gosh, you have some like, boom, mic drops. All right, so I'm going to get this. This is from Bree. She knows you as Law.
Yes.
Law has been a big impact and importance on my life. Through his teachings, he has taught me how to be more comfortable out of my comfort zone and to love myself. Law has also shown me that challenges are meant for growth and not suffering. I appreciate Law highly as he is an amazing human being and a great friend. To whoever comes his way, you can always see pieces of Law's teachings in everyone around him. Thank you, Law, for everything you've taught and shared with me.
Thank you, Bree. That's awesome. My eyes are very watery right now. Those are not tears. No, guys, they're tears. Okay, cool. Yes, Bree is amazing. I'm grateful to have met her. I met her via Vaughn, actually. And I'm glad that we have a good connection. I'm glad to impart whatever I can to her when I can. And I'm glad she uses it and it's bettering her life. Like, I only do it because I love to see people win. Mm-hmm. Like, I just love it, man. It's so satisfying.
And that's just the small impact. You know what I'm saying? Like your impacts, I'm so proud of you. Your willingness to share. And again, I'm always going to use the word care for others. to do exactly what you just did. Your intent is to see them win. It's amazing. And that's why I want to always remind you and encouraging you, like, you are doing good in this world.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Crystal, especially coming from you, because you are doing amazing things in this world. And I think that's where we resonate. I see it. I see the energy. I see that, like I said, the heart to serve. You care. And whenever I get a chance to meet people who are doing well that care, I'm all over it. I love to be there. So I take your compliment with like the highest of praise. I'm so grateful.
Oh, you are the bomb, man. Flip, thank you again so much for being on my podcast. It's a huge honor. And guys, we will be, and queens, kings and queens, we will be putting his social handles on our show notes. So make sure you follow him on everything that he does in regards to teaching. He truly is an amazing human being on this earth. And I believe we all are graced to have his presence with us here.
Oh, man, such a big honor. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to listen to this episode. And if you come check us out, I would be glad to talk with you at any point in time.
Awesome. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, my gosh.
Yay.
That's amazing conversation. Thank you for listening to our daughter's podcast, Care Your Way to Success.
Because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Please subscribe for future episodes. And thanks, Mom and Dad.